You broke this story today, so rather than me announce it, why don't you tell us what the story is today that you broke?
Yes, so obviously the Win Television Network, they've been facing a lot of cutbacks, especially last year, and I managed to reveal just before they confirmed it in a press release that they were putting their regional bulletins in Queensland and Victoria to statewide. So instead of having local bulletins for Shepparton, Bendigo, Ballarat, they're just going to be one state bulletin that includes Albury as well. Applies to Queensland too. And in New South Wales, we're going to have one for southern New South Wales, as well as a separate one for Wollongong, Canberra, and of course one in Tasmania. So expect job cuts. They've said they're going to be hiring some staff, but that's probably only in New South Wales. In Victoria, however, there won't just be any local news. You're probably going to see a lot more generic stories starting the 1st of July.
I was going to ask you when it is the 1st of July. Thanks for that. And how did you get onto the news? You mentioned, and I understand you've actually put this up online, and that was the first breaking the story. How did you discover it, Leonardo, may I ask?
Good journalist doesn't reveal their sources, do they? So we have, I've got lots of sources in the television industry and in politics, and one of them managed to tip me onto this, and I was very confident in them. They've previously told me some stuff that turned out to be accurate. So I trusted it, went with them, and the media release from Win came an hour later. So a really good feeling to be able to see that it happened, and I appreciate Rob McKnight from TV Black Box, who wrote a story on this. He did credit me in that, and I think it's important always to credit the original source or the original reporter when it comes to big stories like this.
It certainly is, especially when it's you. And tell us about 6 News Online, Leonardo.
Yes, so we are a digital-only outlet. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the major platforms, and we're a team of young journalists, so it's not just me. We've got reporters in Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and even one in South Carolina over in the US. And we're just pretty much committed to unbiased reporting. We're completely independent. We just got back after a 1-week suspension on YouTube. And
well, tell us about that. Tell us the story about that, Leonardo. Why were you suspended?
So we uploaded a video of a terrible school shooting in Russia that they claimed was graphic. It was not. They suspended us for a week. We just were able to post, and you're the first people actually hearing this because I haven't told anyone else, but Google just responded to us like 3 minutes ago, said they will reinstate the video and let us post again. So you were right. Them directly, so it's a win for us, win for the little guy for once. But we're now back on YouTube. You can just search at 6NewsAU to find us. We've also got a website, 6newsau.com. Exactly.
Well, certainly from July the 1st, when we lose our local Win news bulletins, we're not going to lose out because we can jump onto 6 News Online and get the local. Do you have?
Perfect,
would you give us much?
We'll be covering not just Melbourne, all of Australia.
That's what I was going to say. How many reporters do you have around? You mentioned some of your contacts earlier.
Math. 1, 3, 4, 5, not including myself, but we've got a team of young commentators as well who like to share their opinions. And we also have plenty of guests. We had the Shadow Treasurer on just before the budget too. All
right, and what did he have to say? Did you get any scoops from that?
We managed to get the first time, I believe, that someone from Federal Labor has commented on the treatment of the Uyghur Muslims in China, and I got a direct answer from him over whether they consider it genocide or not. Wow. So I think that was a pretty good scoop.
Very good
really
scoop.
Good to have these feature interviews, and we welcome any politicians. My DMs are open online, so just give us a shout at 6NewsAU.
At 6NewsAU, okay. Well, you're actually a competing news organisation, so I don't know how much we should give you a promotion. If you're going to take all of our listeners away, mate.
It's building up our empire, isn't it?
It is. It gives me a lovely warm feeling to know I'm talking to a 13-year-old Rupert Murdoch. It's wonderful. And look,
third person who's called me that in the space of 2 weeks, I'll tell you that.
All right, well, I'm just saying it in the nicest possible terms, in terms of someone's ambition and their reach and their ability to chase their dream, which you've done admirably, my friend.
Absolutely.
Love your work. Thank you very much for joining us, Leonardo. I'll let you get back to the presses, and we'll speak to you next time you give us a scoop. How about that?
All right. Talk soon.
Cheers, buddy. Take care.